Hey guys, welcome to Everyday Fitness. My name is TJ. Today we're going to do a comparison video between the three most common PDF knives. The NRS Pilot, NRS Co-Pilot, and the most recently purchased CRKT Bear Claw. I think probably my favorite name. Most of my videos are about exercising, work out how to get in shape to better enjoy your activities, whether it's kayaking, which kind of seems to be what I do the most, mountain biking, rock climbing, whatever it is. I want you to get out and enjoy your sport to the fullest. Don't let your body be the reason that you stop doing something. I don't want you to have to stop playing because you're too out of shape to keep playing. Stop kayaking, stop mountain biking, stop playing with your kids because you just can't keep going. Every once in a while I'll do a silly video here about some gear that I may like or think I want to share my opinion. My intention was for this video to be similar to the previous video where I compared the Merrells and the Astral shoes. I don't want to really give you my opinion on it. However, in developing the video, I realized that's not going to be the case. So let's get into it. Okay, so first off, if you're kayaking, if you're in the water, you need to be wearing a vest. That goes without saying. The vest I always wear is this NRS vest here. Now, it works fine. It's one of the most affordable options. The thing about this vest, it's a side entry, and this knife can attach this direction, horizontal or vertical. It's a really big knife. I wanted a big handle knife to begin with, much longer than their Co-Pilot. You can see the difference there, and overall length is pretty drastic. Blade length not quite as different, but overall length is quite drastic. The Pilot has a glass break, it has a bottle opener, a line cutter, serrated edge, a cutting edge, and a flat tip, which is great. It serves two purposes. One, if you're rafting and you happen to drop this onto your raft, it's probably not going to poke a hole. Not as likely to poke a hole. Second thing is, it also can be used as a flathead, which we've had to use that before. Some of the thigh braces and stuff was coming out, and so we actually got up in there and tightened some of the braces. However, this for me, I believe, with this vest setup is too long. You see all this garbage here? It can get caught on anything as I'm happen to be floating down a river on accident, or more commonly, what I end up doing is stabbing myself in the arm. If I'm surfing and I get crazy, look at this. This is ridiculous. Like, that's not super sharp, but it's not very comfortable. So that got me thinking, what do I need to do? Should I get the Co-Pilot here? Yeah, that's not a bad option. The Co-Pilot, again, much shorter, still has your bottle opener. This may have a purpose other than just connecting it to the actual carrier itself. Blade is basically the same. You got your straight edge, your serrated, and still your little flat tip screwdriver piece. However, I've decided to change over to the Bear Claw. It's going to be significantly shorter, and it's going to attach to this, and it's not going to be as aggressive against my arm. It's not going to stick out as much. The Bear Claw blade is very, very different. It's curved, and it's all serrated. Still has your safety tip or drop point, so you're not going to be puncturing something. It's 100% a rescue knife. There's no tactical or aggressive purpose to this knife at all. It has a great little finger handle here, which I like. I like the way it fits in my hand. That's an opinion. Your hands are probably going to be very different than mine, but I like the way this fits. One advantage to this blade angle is whenever you hold your hand in a natural pose here, the blade is out like this. In contrast, if I hold my hand in a natural angle here, the blade is not quite at the same angle. So your cutting motion requires less torque of the wrist. That comes from more of a fighting thing. Like with these guys, this is not a kayak knife. I'm not even gonna link this in here at all. That's what the purpose of these angle, or like a clinch pick knife, is I can hold it here, get a good grip in my palm, and my angle is more natural for my wrist. That's irrelevant. I just wanted to show you that. That's kind of what the intention of this curved blade is. This, if you're worried about the clip on this knife and the attachment, it's pretty secure. I like that these have the lock. This one doesn't. It's just friction or tension, but it's still pretty tight. And of course, you can get it out if you need to. but just by one hand with it not being attached, it's kind of difficult. In comparison here, up close, I'll show you these three. I'll get a better video kind of showing you what they look like without my silly hands in the way. The length is about the same for the Pilot and the Bear Claw. There really isn't an overall length difference. Comparatively, you're looking at about the exact same. You're just got a wider and more narrow handle on the Pilot than you do on the Bear Claw. To me, the Bear Claw feels the best. Again, that's an opinion from me in my hand. So my father's going to give us his idea. He had some great opinions on these knives, kind of his view. Go ahead.
In my view, okay, this is obviously the best color.
I don't know.
No, really. What I don't like about this knife is that I feel like I lose some of the control. Secure in my hand, it feels really stable and like I have a lot of strength with it, but I don't feel like I could maneuver it if I was in a snag situation, which I don't have a lot of sports. The only thing I do is play with my grandkids in kayaks, so and everything in my mind is what's going to help me on the river. And I feel like I like the strength in this knife, but I don't like how it's set up to be in my hand like this. That's the way it's made. This one, I feel like I can turn it in my hand. I can do this much easier. If I need to do something, I don't have as good a grip, I could drop it in the river, but I do feel like I can do different things with it where I can't do that with this. This is set up to be here.
Try to switch hands for me, like with that one.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little more difficult to put it in this hand. If I retrieve it from my vest with this hand, getting it in this hand, it just seems like it's a little bit more cumbersome. If I was going to be in a fight with somebody, like he said, it would be preferable. The other thing about that is if I do drop this tactical lost in the dark knife in the river, much more difficult to retrieve than this color. I always consider how hard it is to locate my gear when I'm buying gear.
They do make an orange option, an orange handle for that too.
There you go. I try to stay away from like dull dead grass green, tan, brown, even white in the river can be a difficult color to find. So that's my thoughts on these two knives.
Thank you, Father.
You're welcome.
Now, here's what I think is the most important thing to know about these knives. Carry position. Where are you going to be carrying your knife? My brother Zach has this vest, which I've completely contorted somehow. He has a vertical carrying mount here, up on his shoulder. This is where I think it should be. With his setup here, and his larger build than me, this works great for him. Not quite as likely to be caught on something because the way this tucks into here. If it was me, I would go with a shorter handle here, but for him, this works out great. Would he want to do a sideways carry here? Abso-freaking-lutely not. Your carry sheath and the handle are going to be all kinds of silly, and it's going to be harder of an angle to pull out. I've been using this vest for a while. This is my other brother's vest. This really isn't that bad. It still sticks out though. If I'm floating down the river, which hopefully I'm not, and I happen to catch some stick, this is a great snag. It's a great thing to get snagged on. And the fortunate and unfortunate thing, if this thing gets snagged, people, this is not a cheesy carrier. I don't think you're gonna break it. You're using a lot of force to break this carrier. This setup here, I definitely would not want to go with the longer here. I mean, now look how much is sticking out. That's terrible. That's not gonna work. You're probably gonna hit this for sure. Not to mention, again, I told you before, this pointy thing hurts a lot more than these round things. Don't get a vest that's not side entry. This is just ridiculous. Again, sorry, that's an opinion. I told you I wouldn't give you my opinion, but that's my opinion. This knife, I like the angle. So this attachment has to be this way. This is the only way this works. This vest will not allow you to attach it in a horizontal, in the opposite direction, vertical. This is it. This is all that you have with this vest. So I say all this to come back around to say, I think it really, really, really depends on your vest. Which one, you better be wearing a vest regardless anyway. Find out what vest you like and then give it the consideration that it deserves. Just don't do what I did and thought, hey, this is the most common knife. It's got a big handle. It's green. it'll work just fine. I bought it and I can't tell you how many times I've stabbed myself in the arm. One cool tip my brother just gave me. You can take cardboard. Everyone has some cardboard at home from whatever Amazon purchase you last made, and cut it out and put it on your vest. Put it around the knife holder. See how it sticks out. See what it looks like actually on your vest. So it really comes down to the way your vest is set up and how you're moving while you're wearing your vest. So that's all I have for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Subscription is free. It's the best way to make sure you don't miss any videos like this. I'll put a link on this side over here. On this side over here to one of my previous videos, and a link over here that you can subscribe. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, of course. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Keep up the good work.